Hello everyone, my name is Kelvin Ng, a Microsoft certified trainer and also a Microsoft Office expert for Microsoft 365 or Microsoft Office 2019. In this video, I'm going to talk about date function, where I'm going to introduce four functions that's related to date. The first function, which is very commonly used, is called the today, where if I use the function called today, it will return with the current date, where it is actually very interactive because it will take out the current date from your system. So if I open the file today, it will be today's date. If I open up the file tomorrow, it will be tomorrow's date. So you always take out the current date. But if I use the function called now, it's not only I'm going to get a date, I'm also going to get the date and time included in the cell. So that's the difference between today and now. The other two functions that I'm going to talk about is number one, if we want to know an end date of a certain project. So for example, I give you the start date and I give you the end date, and I give you the number of days to complete that particular task. I want to know when will this particular task end. So workday is the function that will calculate the date before and after depending on how many work days. This function is very special. They will exclude all your off days, your weekends from your calculation. That means if you are working from Monday to Friday, then it will not include Saturday and Sunday in that case. Now, for duration, the last function that I'm going to talk about, duration is a calculation that I'm going to talk about. We're going to use network days to calculate that. So if I give you two dates, the begin and the end date, I will be able to find out exactly how many work days are there between the two dates. So let's go right into that particular function. I have some sample that I can explain to you about. So let's go into the date functions worksheet. Now, the first one is rather simple. I just want to do a quick countdown of how many days do I have. Now, I'm going to try out with a static date, which actually don't change every other time. But the other one is a dynamic date that it will change every other time, where I'm going to use the function called today. So let's just say, if I put the formula here, there's no special formula to write this except for plus and minus. So I'm going to put this equals to, now, Christmas is always on the 25th of December every year. So this year, in year 2021, Christmas is still going to be 25th of December. So I'm going to take that date and I'm going to subtract the date today. If you wish to subtract a static date today, you need to put in an open quotes, then followed by the today's date, 23rd of March 2021. So this recording is done on the 23rd of March 2021. Open, close quote, right? And if I press enter, I'll get 270 days, 77 days. So there you go. And this year, we have 284 days left. So this is basically the number of days from today until Christmas. We have 277 days from today. However, if I open the file next month and I look at this formula, it will still be 277 days, 284 days. It does not change simply because I inserted a static date, a date that doesn't change. If I want, I have to change the date manually, right? No, that's not what I want to show you. This is when you plan to work with a static date. What I want to tell you here is to include the open and close quotation mark if you wish to enter a static date like this, right? However, if you want to make this a dynamic date, this is where you can do this, equals to the start date, which is C, so the end date, which is C3, you will subtract the function called today. So when I press enter, now don't panic if you see something like this. The answer is correct, except that the formatting has been formatted to date. So I'm going to change this to general. You will notice that it's the same number. So if I copy this down, it will be exactly the same. However, if I open the file tomorrow, this number will reduce by 1, which means if I open the file tomorrow, this will be 276 and 283. It will just keep on reducing the number until it's 0, which is on the 25th December or 1st of January 2022. So this is what you can use the function today to do your calculation, right? How many days do you have? Right. Let's move on below. We have another function that I want to talk to you about, which is called the workdays. Right. So I have two sets of date here. If you look carefully, we have the normal and the working days. So if I say that we have a project starting on 26th of October 2015, and it will take 15 days to complete this project. So the project should end on the 10th of November. How did I know? All I do is just take the date, I plus with 15, and it should finish on the 10th of November 2015. Now, this date is obviously correct. However, if you want to exclude Saturday and Sunday in your calculation, then this may not be accurate. So how do I do that? How do I exclude the Saturday and Sunday? So the function that we are going to talk about in this video is called workday. So they are altogether 3 parameters that we are going to include here, which is the start date. So I'm going to go to the cell C8, that's the start date, comma, and followed by how many days. How many days? So prior to writing the formula, it's best that you include all the public holidays that you observe in your company or your workplace, right? So I prepared a set of dates here on the right that shows the public holidays from 1st January to the end of the year. So all I need to do is just highlight the straight down all the way to the end. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to close bracket, enter. So that's the answer that I'm getting, 17th of November. Now, why 17? Because in between this date to the next 15 days, it involves a few weekends, and there is a public holiday that falls in between. You can check it out in your calendar. That's how they automatically moves the date to 17th of November based on the holidays that I've given here. Right? So that's work days. The next function that I'm going to talk about here is called the network days. Now, before I go into the network days, I just want to talk about in the event we are talking about just normal days, which includes Saturday and Sundays. So how do I calculate how many days between the two dates? All I need to do is just tell them, pick the end date minus the start date, and I'll get 31. So if you look at 26th of October and 26th of November, so this is the end date. I'll take the 26th November minus the 26th of October, then it will be in altogether 31 days to complete a certain task. However, if we exclude the Saturday and Sunday and the public holidays, then we're going to use the function called network days. So the network days wants you to start with the start date. So this is the start date, comma. Then you prefer the end date, comma. And again, the holidays. So I'm going to highlight all the holidays again till December 25th, 2015. Close the bracket, enter. So that is altogether 23 days only. So please be careful to accept any project that's given to you with a deadline, and check if you really have enough time to complete the project based on those work that only can be done during working days. Right? So I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a try. Okay, contact me if you need any help. I'll see you in the next video.